Thank you for tuning in for this Oracle card reading. I'm really excited about sharing some inspiration with you today. And I'm going to start off with some drumming just to kind of clear the air. Recently, so it's just like something I want to incorporate a little bit more. So I'm feeling really hyper, just in a really good mood. So I drew a bunch of cards for all different Oracle card decks, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be surprised by the cards, and let's just see what comes up. I'm using all kinds of Oracle card decks, from the Oracle of E to Vibrational Energy Oracle to the Witch's Oracle. We'll start off with two cards that I've already seen. First we have, I've posted this on Instagram, first we have the Hag. It's kind of hard to see, it's kind of dark, right? Let's see. We have the Hag card. And this is interesting because it's like, for women in our culture, it's so difficult to define your own sense of beauty sometimes, but it's so necessary. So I really like this card. It's a reminder to embrace your inner beauty and wisdom, and to not let superficial things get in your way, like superficial appearances, or to not let yourself be judged by others and called certain names. You know, you have to empower yourself. So that's what this card reminds me of. And then yesterday evening, I drew this really cool card from Louise, and she has her wisdom cards. She has all kinds of affirmations. So the affirmation for this card is, I express my true being today. And that's really important to me because it's just really important to be yourself, and to not just be yourself, but enthusiastically be yourself, and with passion be yourself, and explore your real interests, and just do everything you want to do in life in a really uplifting and empowering way. So that's really exciting to me. Okay, so those are the two previous cards. And now let's look at the other cards that I've drawn. There's not really an order to it. Let's just see what we get. Let's start with let's see which deck I drew this one from. Start with the Earth Magic Oracle. The Earth Magic Oracle has a really cool back to it. Excuse me. And when we flip it over, it says Ancestors, Generations. This is really cool because late last night I stayed up and I was reading a book about kind of ancient history a little bit, and what we can learn from ancient belief systems. And so this is interesting. It's like we are indebted, I guess, in certain ways to our ancestors, and at the same time we're creating new things as individuals in this day and age. So there's kind of that balance there between wanting to stay true to ancient wisdom and the wisdom of our ancestors, and wanting to create something new. So that's the balance that I see with this card. Okay, now let's draw a funny one. This is from the Oracle of E, and the card says, just say no. Okay, so I have no idea what this means. Just say no. I don't know what that means. Do you know what this means out there in YouTube land? I've never heard this expression before. I mean, it could be about the balance between knowing and not knowing. Like, if you don't know something, you're like, I don't know. I just don't. You know, a lot of things in life, we think we have to be experts, or we think we have to have everything nailed down by a certain definition. But sometimes we know things, sometimes we don't know things as much as we'd like to. So that's a really weird card. Just say no. I have no idea what that means. Nope. This is going to be space. We'll hold space for this card to mean something, but I don't know what. Okay. The next card is from, not to be confused with the Oracle of E, this card is from the Energy Oracle. And this is the back of it. And as I flip it over, ooh, envy. Envy is one of those things that's not good. A lot of times envy comes across, envy is like the opposite of loving kindness meditation. Like in loving kindness meditation, you're happy for other people's success. With envy, you are envying other people's success instead of just being happy for them. So, I mean, this trips me up sometimes. Oh no, my computer is being messed up. This trips me up sometimes because instead of being happy for people, sometimes I'm like, oh, like I really want that too. But I think we should just be inspired by other people's success in the best sense. That would be great. You know, it's like, oh, this person's doing that. I want to do something different, but their success is really inspiring because look at how much energy they're putting into their passions. Like, that's really cool. So I think there's a flip side to envy if you look for it, you know? Not the envy itself, but the loving kindness meditation aspects. Okay, next we have Wisdom of the Oracle. This is the back of it. And then we flip it over. Deep Knowing. Ooh, this one seems really cool. Deep Knowing. This is kind of like, I've been thinking recently about letting the mystery of life be this infinite mystery and not trying to over define things or have too much structure, like have that fluid sense of life, like the ocean sense of consciousness. And by that I mean like this infinite space that cannot be defined, that we can access perhaps through mystical practices. So there's that aspect that reminds me of the deep part, like this ocean of that you can never pin down in a certain way. And deep knowing, it kind of goes along with a silly card, just say no. And then this one's about deep knowing. I don't know, I guess it's like about your personal organic sense of intuition in a certain sense. And how you enjoy tapping into the ocean of consciousness. Like, what is going to be your way of doing that? What's right for you? Only you know what's right for you. So, that's really cool. Okay, now let's go back. I drew one additional Witch's Oracle card, which is really cool. So we already had the Hag. Now let's see what comes up next. And oh, Raven. It's kind of hard to see. There we go. Raven. It's a deep, rich purple. And then the raven with a couple of flowers. Raven. I know there's a lot of symbology. I don't know if that's a word. I know there's a lot of symbolic meaning to the raven. I don't know exactly what it is. This would be something fun to look up. The raven. I mean, it almost goes with the Hag card, like almost being kind of an outsider, but you're still in tune with nature. But these days, I feel like you don't have to have just a traditional sense of outsider or being within a certain idea. You can just do whatever you want as a unique individual. So, the Raven card, I'm not sure. I mean, you know what? Honestly, I'm going to have to look that up. I'm not really sure about the Raven card. Okay, the final card is from Vibrational Energy Oracle. And Driving Forces. This is like what keeps you going forward, the inspiration, the ambition, that goal that you have your sights set on. It's really cool. So it's kind of interesting. Driving force and deep knowing, like, is there any connection there? Like, Are you using your deep knowing about life and your connection with life? Are you using that as a driving force in your life? Or there's something separate that needs to be integrated that you're using as a driving force, like you keep your spirituality too separate from your ambitions. That's pretty interesting. Well, this was a lot of cards. It was really fun. I'm going to do a little drumming to conclude. That's my freestyle drumming. Okay, so I hope you got some inspiration. I know there's a couple things that were questions that we left open. For instance, just say no, and what was the other one we left open? The meaning of the raven. I know there's a lot of meaningful ideas about the raven out there. And also, even this card, Ancestors, Generations, that has very rich meaning for some people. Not as much for me. I don't feel like a huge connection to my ancestors. I feel like I'd rather connect with nature. But I know for some people, ancestry and connecting to their roots is very important. Like they'll do all kinds of visualizations and meditations to connect with their ancestors and their roots. So this is something you could definitely get into more if that sparks your imagination. My favorite cards that we had, I think my favorite card is this one. It's just so beautiful, deep knowing. Just like something very heart-centered about that. Just kind of like it. Well, if there are any of the cards you want to meditate on more, just go back and pause the video so you can look at the card more specifically. And I'm going to try to post where all of the cards are from. So if you liked a certain Oracle card deck, you could find it on Amazon. And thank you so much for tuning into this Oracle card reading. I hope it inspires you to do your own Oracle cards and just to live your life in a really empowered way. Thanks.